On February 11, 2006, Konstantinos Kamboulis murdered his wife and committed suicide on the couple's property in
Yikes.
Thornton, Pennsylvania.
Yikes.
A person who misrepresents a material fact with the intent to deceive another may be liable for fraud.
All right, today we'll be getting into a stigmatized property.
Oh, nice.
I don't think you know what they are, but we're going to find out. All right, so here we go. Going to get right into this. Let's pull up the video over here.
A person who misrepresents a material fact with the intent to deceive another may be liable for fraud. But what if a property seller doesn't disclose to a buyer that a murder-suicide occurred on the property? Is this non-disclosure a misrepresentation of a material defect to the property? A Pennsylvania Superior Court considered this question in Milliken versus Giacano. On February 11, 2006, Konstantinos Kamboulis murdered his wife and committed suicide on the couple's property in
Yikes.
Thornton, Pennsylvania.
Yikes. So Pennsylvania, it's just about the most horrible thing you could possibly do.
More than 7 months later, Joseph and Kathleen Giacano purchased the property at an auction. The property was listed for sale in June of 2007. A month later, Janet Milliken, who wanted to relocate to Pennsylvania with her 2 children, agreed to purchase the property. In the property disclosures, the Giacanos stated that the property was last occupied in March of 2006. In addition, the Giacanos provided a title report that showed the property was conveyed to them by the Kamboulis' estates. But the Giacanos didn't disclose that a murder-suicide occurred on the property.
Okay, so basically, you get the drift, right? They are buying a home. They have no idea what happened in it prior to this. It was a pretty horrific scene. And now they're moving into a home that has, the neighbors probably know what happened, right? So
Right.
it's kind of
Great
what is taking shape right now.
And Milliken didn't investigate the Kamboulis' ownership. On August 10, 2007, Milliken closed on the property. However, after moving in, Milliken began experiencing unsettling events, including hearing what sounded like a gun clicking. A few weeks later, she learned about the murder-suicide that had occurred on the property.
Yikes, right? You just put in a substantial amount of your money. You're investing in something with you're putting your foot down on probably the largest purchase you're going to make if you're just a regular person. And many people don't even own any property in their entire lifetime. So what a surprise, you know?
Oh man. Yeah, right. I'll be honest, if I were the buyer or investor, I'd cringe at that too, especially if I'm experiencing strange phenomena like,
Guns
hearing
clicking.
the sounds of guns clicking. That would be quite unsettling, I think.
Yeah. You can. There is a website that you can run your your residence, your address through, and it will tell you.
Oh, interesting.
But this is in 2006, so I think there was a law created after this case. So let's check it out.
Yeah.
Subsequently, Milliken sued the Giacanos in the Court of Common Pleas for fraud and negligent misrepresentation, seeking to rescind the contract and recover her costs. Milliken argued that the murder-suicide caused psychological damage to the property and therefore qualified as a material defect that the Giacanos were required to disclose.
That's an interesting
In
argument.
response, the Giacanos moved for summary
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
judgment.
And it's the damage to the property that's interesting, not necessarily to her, which I think is kind of fascinating.
Yeah, by that taking place, it does damage the property. It certainly puts a stigmatized, vibe on top of it for sure. Like there's other, Jeffrey Dahmer, and like you could go through the who's who of extremely infamous serial killers, and like a lot of times they just bulldoze the house over. They just get rid of it.
Right? Yeah. They figure, I guess it's just bad mojo.
Yeah,
to put it lightly.
Yeah. And a lot of times too, Google Maps will blur out any of those houses that are super.
That's interesting.
Nefarious, I guess is a decent word.
Which the court granted. Milliken appealed to the Pennsylvania Superior Court.
So that is a little bit of information. It was actually quite hard to get anything more about this type of thing. But what did you think of that? Here, before we do that, let's drop the bullet. All right. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think For what it is, I think people do have a right to know what really happened on the property, and then they can make a fully informed decision. Okay, do I want to go ahead and buy it anyway because hey, I'm getting it at a discount and the murder already happened, it's not happening again, that kind of thing. I mean, it's very dark, but
Yeah.
other than that, yeah, I think people should be given all the information about it, and then they can make a fully informed decision. Do they want to deal with it, or do they want to just run? And hey, if the property can't be sold, I guess, yeah, like as you said earlier, bulldoze the house.
That's a lot of times what happens now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was easier to conceal before, but now there's a
Right.
lot more data out there for people. So,
Right. Yeah.
during
Yeah.
the Wild West, I can't even imagine. Like, I just,
Oh my God.
I guess this will be my final thought of it.
Sure.
I recently watched this thing on YouTube where they were recreating Germany with photos from Nazi Germany. And it was like Adolf and his crew, right? And they showed like modern day what those same scenes look like, right? So if you see
okay.
the new scene, it's like some guy taking a walk, or it's like, just some houses and like a normal looking street. And then you see like the black and white Nazi one, it just looks so much more dramatic, right? So
Right.
everywhere we walk and we move and we exist, right, is so many things have taken place there. Native Americans, dinosaurs, wars, battles. Everything is a graveyard. We are walking on graveyards. When you go by a
That's a good
graveyard
point.
and they're just like, oh, that's a graveyard. It's like, no, the whole rock is a graveyard.
The whole right,
Yeah.
right. That's a very good point, actually. Yeah, we do stand quite literally on the shoulders of our ancestors and people have gone before, and there they are. It's like battles, wars, buildings. Especially, I'm in Philadelphia now, so obviously, history all around.
You walk
It's
everywhere.
just, it's very true. It's like
And not before that also, you probably had Native Americans like literally like posting up exactly where you're sitting right now.
yeah, you're probably right.
And I
You're
know
probably right.
where I live, this used to be extremely dense forest, and Native Americans were like basically where I'm sitting right now. And I know dinosaurs were all around where I'm currently standing right now. I've seen the scientific proof to back it up, not
That's
to
right.
mention all the bones that they find like right where
yeah.
I live. So yeah, I guess that's my takeaway.
It's really wild. Yeah,
That
good stuff.
So check your house out on the website. Make sure nothing.
Yeah, I actually will. I'm gonna look it up. See what happened before me.
Oh yeah. I know about
might be in for a rude awakening.
I know about your building. Your building is extremely cool. So
Yeah, it has some cool history. So yeah, I'm gonna be looking into that.
Just a
Good
cool
stuff.
guy living in a cool place. And I
thank you,
guess with that, we're out.